Hey there. I'm just sitting here and, for once am not thinking about anything at all and have just kind of peace in my mind. I do want to talk about something though, and I think that something is the difference between kindness and niceness. Because I think people misconstrue the two a lot, especially when talking about, dating, for example. Kindness is doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. It's saying the right things to the right person at the right time, even if it hurts their feelings. Niceness is kind of following like what society wants you to follow, and you open doors for people. It's like courtesy, right? Niceness is kind of like courtesy, and kindness is kind of like virtue. Where when there's somebody who's kind, they're not gonna tell you what you want to hear all the time. You're gonna have a real relationship, so to speak, with them, where they're going to tell you what you need to hear, even if it's going to hurt a little bit. But they're going to do it in a constructive way where it won't break you down. And I'm really thinking about that lately in regards to my relationships with the people in my life. I don't want to be nice. I'm going to be honest. I can be pretty mean sometimes. I say things that I don't particularly mean. And I do things kind of on impulse at moments, and so I really appreciate just this peace that I have right now, because it gives me time to reflect on all the times that I've just been rough with people, and not all of them are negative. When I think back on them, sometimes what I said, as blunt as it was what needed to be said, and you don't want to shy away from saying what you believe is right, because I gotta say, I don't believe in white lies, because they never work. I've tried them before. I've tried to do a little soft lie so that it makes somebody feel better, and it never works. It always collapses on me, and it always just makes me look like a freaking jerk for trying it. And for example, I might make up something like, "Oh, well, you don't look that fat in that dress," to a partner, but they want to hear what you actually have to say. They don't want you to just say what they want to hear. They can detect that. So it's kind of a catch-22 with the whole, do I look fat in this dress, right? You say what you actually want to say, and they get mad at you. You say what they want to hear, and they're like, "Well, you're not being honest with me." So it just, you might as well say the truth and not really sugarcoat it too much. And don't be brutal about it. It's a balancing act, you gotta say it in a precise way. I don't think that particular dress is a good look for you. However, I think you look really good in these dresses, this blue one, this red one. That's a good response to that, because it's like, well, and you're derailing the whole "does it make me look fat," right? Because that's not what she's asking. And, I'll kind of stray away from that analogy a little bit, but I just wanted to say, niceness is kind of something that's perceived as a common courtesy. Anybody can be nice. Most people are respected, and they expect other people to be nice, and it's just kind of like an expectation. Kindness is relatively rare, because you're doing the right thing almost most of the time because you believe it to be right. And not everybody believes in an objective right and wrong. And so doing what you believe is right might be something completely wrong from somebody else's perspective. So it's going to cause a little bit of controversy. However, there is kind of like this fight, where some people believe that there's a constant fight of good and evil in the world, and people who are kind are putting themselves in the arena of fighting for good. And then there's always going to be people who fight that back, who push that back. And so, man, I'm going a little too in depth into this, but kindness is, sometimes it looks very brutal. And everybody has different ways of expressing kindness. You know, kindness can be very logical from some people. Kindness can be very fluffy from other people. You know, it's very emotional. Or it could also mean, kindness could also mean just doing something for somebody. It can be expressed in just a bunch of different ways. But niceness is what society expects. Kindness, nobody expects. And it's still great. And I love that. So, I'm going to conclude with that. You know,